Oh, there it is. Hey, we're actually live right now. We're live and in person. Guys, we got Seed Squatch in the building. Let's do this.
Pink Sock Podcast, your go-to destination for a wild and unpredictable ride through the realms of music, comedy, cannabis culture, and beyond. With your host, the fearless, the irreverent, Mike Usenik, presenting eclectic, entertaining, enlightening, surprising content. Join in the fun, push boundaries, challenge conventions, explore the spectrum of human experience. We won't shy away from any topic. Entertainment, exploration, connection. Join us.
That music takes me back to the woods where like people fuck their cousins or whatever. What's up, Seed Squatch?
Hey, don't talk about my family like that.
How you been doing, brother? What's new with you, Seed?
Just chilling, man. Right now, I'm enjoying the weather.
Oh, by the way, starting July 1st, we're doing this Monday through Wednesdays, so you're more than welcome to join us anytime, brother.
Mondays through Wednesdays.
Yep, 9 p.m. same time. Well, for me, it's 9 p.m. I don't know if you're at the same time zone or not, but
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, dude. How's the music going?
Good, man. Dropping a song next Friday. Should be out.
Shit, dude, pick it up. No.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Fearless Friend.
Oh shit, you wrote a song about me. That's neat.
It's a heavier Squatch track. It's kind of heavy.
Oh sweet, dude.
It's not like thrash or anything, but it's.
You got a death metal track.
I'm going to one day.
Dude, I love your music, and I think you could pull it off.
Probably.
Like, I definitely think you can do like death metal or black metal.
Even if I didn't do the vocals, I could at least play bass or something like that. That'd be cool.
Well, if you ever need a vocalist, dude, I know a lot of like local death metal bands. That'd be interesting. You got any shows you're doing, or are you just recording music right now?
My first and only show right now will be in August 10th at the Cantana Festival. That's a Red Man and Scott McKinley produced the event. This will be the second year they've done it. So
wasn't that the one Muck was at last year?
No, he wasn't there last year, but there was the first one last year, and he heard about it. And so he told me about it, and so I sent them a link to the Miss Mary video, and they were like, "Oh hell yeah, we'll get him to play."
Such a good song, dude.
Thanks,
this guy's music will make your ears orgasm. I used to do album reviews and song reviews, and that's literally how I would do it. I'm like, oh, he'll make you come. And like people are like, what?
Eargasms.
How would you describe your genre of music?
Squatch rock.
Squatch rock. Seedy.
It's sneaky and seedy and you know what I mean. You never know what the fuck I'm gonna put out. It might be I don't know. I can't tell you.
With your name being related to Sasquatch, which I'm also a Sasquatch.
I do that.
I've wrestled a Sasquatch, so
he's wrestled a Sasquatch. We think you might be related.
I believe it. Yeah, we might be.
His name was what? Sam Squatch, you said?
Yep.
His name was Sam Squatch. So I think you might have a cousin that wrestles.
I believe it.
So have you ever had an encounter with a Bigfoot?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
That's how the name Seed Squatch came about, actually. So I live in Humboldt County, which that's where Bigfoot originated. The Sasquatch name and Bigfoot name was actually given here, Northern Cali, and I was about 13 years ago. This happened to me, but I had been living here for about a year, and I went over next door, met the neighbor. He told me a story about how he got yelled at by this creature out back, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. I don't know if I believe that or not.
Damn.
And because you think you meet people, you don't know if they're telling the truth, whatever. Yeah. And he if you met the guy, you'd think, okay, this guy's kind of full of shit.
That guy's lying. He has to.
You know what I mean, though. He's cool, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean. And so anyway, long story short, it's like about a year after he told me that story, I was out back behind the house. I was making hash like till late at night. And went inside, and I thought I'd left my dog outside. Went outside looking for my dog, and where I was making hash at was backed up to like thousands of acres of woods. Like no one lives back there, or goes back there or anything. And I had my flashlight with me, and that was it. And so I heard something over by the woods where I was working at. I thought it was my dog, and I shot the flashlight over there, and all of a sudden something crashed back towards the woods, like fucking huge sounding, right? And I flipped the flashlight around to where I saw or heard it go into the woods, and the trees were moving way up high, like 10 foot. And as the light hit that area, this creature fucking yelled at me, dude, and it was as loud as a train horn. If you were standing next to a train when the horn goes off, it was as loud as that. Of course, it didn't sound like a train. It sounded like something much fucking worse.
That'd be fucking terrifying if it sounded like a fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was a train, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, okay, it's a train back there. No big deal.
A big hairy train.
No big deal. It's just a train in the backyard. I mean, that's more logical, right? But a Bigfoot, a creature, like I've heard everything, man. I've hunted my whole life. I've studied animal sounds, and you know what I mean? Like I've never in my life heard anything like this creature, dude.
That's fucking scary.
I backed up
That's
into
insane.
I backed up into the house. I was probably 75 feet from the back door of the house. I backed up into the house. I never turned my back away from that spot where I saw the trees moving, where the flashlight was at. I was like, if this fucker's going to come out of the woods and eat me, I want to at least see this motherfucker.
How long ago was this?
This was 13 years ago.
Shit, it'd be cool if you had a smartphone back in, start recording. Big ass fucking...
I've actually heard on YouTube, actually, I was listening to the show. There's a channel called Dixie Cryptid, and this guy, he's from like Louisiana or somewhere like that. He's got real Cajun Southern voice, but he tells Bigfoot stories from people that write letters in and stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, occasionally he gets recordings from people, and so I was hearing one of the recordings that he was playing. I actually heard what similar to what I'd heard, but it was recorded in a far off. It's recorded far away. You know what I mean? So.
Damn, dude. Like, I've never encountered a Sasquatch, thank goodness, but there are some in West Virginia, some sightings.
My girlfriend encountered, like, she actually saw a Sasquatch with my oldest daughter, and that was how many years ago was that? About 8 years ago? 6 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Got a good look at it too. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. And she grew up here. She didn't believe in Bigfoot at all.
Hey, D.A. Morris over here, he's a pro wrestler. He'll fight it.
I already did once, and I won a death battle dance match.
He'll fight that Sasquatch, but he only does it in spandex.
Yeah.
He only wrestles half naked. But, dude, that's a crazy fucking story. Like, I've never encountered a Sasquatch, but I used to watch, like, cryptid, like, documentaries and shit about cryptid zoology.
Yeah.
And
Don't get from it.
ever watch the show, man, DA showing off his pussy again.
Ha ha
This motherfucker over there.
Yeah, man, there it goes. Like,
We need to do a show together sometime, because I've been doing comedy lately. We need to like do a comedy and music mashup.
Comedy, music, wrestling.
There you go.
Dude, I'll wrestle. I look like the guy who always loses. But there was this documentary I watched. Well, it was like a docu-series, a television series, if you will. It was called Animal X. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it came
I've heard of it.
It came out
Oh.
15 years ago.
Bro, I don't know. You should, if you had a pair of drumsticks right now, you might be able to pull off a skinny Vinnie Paul, bro. I swear to God.
I swear to God, he almost looks like the dude from Motorhead.
A, fr-
Almost.
a friend of mine was
He
like,
might. So you're saying he could be Lemmy's illegitimate son?
dude,
It's not illegitimate. He knows all about him. He just disowned the motherfucker.
I was talking to my buddy Jag. He was like, "You look like you owned some people back in the day." I'm like,
Fucked up.
You know, we were check this out. It was a few years ago. We were in Crescent City, California. We stopped this place along the ocean to have some seafood, and we're sitting because you mentioned Lemmy. I had to tell you the story. So we're sitting there. It's me, my 2 daughters, and my girlfriend. We're just eating some food and shit. And I look over to the right of me, and I said, "Holy shit, dude!" And I had just watched a documentary about Lemmy. Like that fucking week, right? And I looked at Grace and said, "I can't believe this shit." She goes, "What's going on?" I was like, "Look, don't cause a scene. You know, look over your shoulder right there." And she goes, "What?" She looked over her shoulder like that, you know, all smooth like and shit. She goes, "What's going on?" I'm like, "That's fucking Lemmy's son." That's fucking Lemmy's son. I just saw him in the documentary with Lemmy, dude. There he is right there. Like,
That's
yeah,
cool.
you know. She said, "How do you know?" I'm like, "Dude, he's got Lemmy's fucking mole, bro. Look, mole, bro. Look, it's fucking Lemmy's son." And like he looked over at me, he gave me the nod, you know, like he recognized that I recognized. I didn't want to bother him because he was having dinner, you know. I was like, "What's up, dude?"
You know how cool it is, like meeting somebody like that out in the open, dude. Like I've met a couple people. Like
I
met.
didn't bother him, bro. I didn't mess with him. You know what I mean? I look. He knew. We knew. It's like the unspoken code. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate enough. I got to meet Alice Cooper's son, Dash. He was doing a show with his band Co-op, and I knew of them at the time, but I wasn't like a fan of his music because of who his dad was. I just enjoyed the music from the show. And I happened to run into him, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
Right?
Like it's cool meeting the son of musicians.
Like you're almost famous because of your dad.
You're literally watching a sperm that's been grown up out of a rock star's penis or something. You know? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I like your dad. Now I get to meet his cum.
it's like
that's fucked up.
Cum.
That is.
You developed cum.
I actually saw this comedian talking the other day. He was like, all having a child is keeping sperm as a pet. That's all it is.
That's one expensive goddamn pet.
Like,
Expensive, man.
Fucking expensive. Do you believe in other cryptids, or is it just Sasquatch for now since you've seen them?
No, there's another story I heard since I've lived here. There's 2 stories that actually one's was about a creature that flew around and had like a fucking sort of like a wolf face, and it flew and it was like the size of a fucking truck, you know, like the length of a truck, you know, that was its wingspan and shit. And like it chased these people out from the coastline one night. But then there was another story I heard. I actually heard this story from 2 different people about this creature. They called him the bug-eyed beast, and he stood upright, like walked on 2 legs, and had real wicked, crazy like wolf. I don't know, like crazy arms, but a wolf face again, and bug-eyed, like wolf nose, but like these bug-eyed.
Bro,
like huge. And like this truck pulled around, was coming up into his yard, right? This farmer guy was coming up into his piece of property, and this wasn't far from here supposedly. And it was nighttime, and he pulled around, and his headlights hit this fucking creature that was standing there holding one of his goats.
Dude,
he had the goat like it hold it like this in the headlight, and it blinded this creature, right? And so he said that this thing it ripped the fucking goat. It ripped his fucking leg off and threw the leg at him, and then screamed so fucking loud it burst his eardrums. And there was 2 other people with the guy, like they were with him. There was this farmer and there's 2 people in the vehicle, and it fucked their eardrums up, like fucked them up. They were like bleeding. And shit.
Was that bug-eyed creature you're talking about, or is this
Fucker too? That's what it was. They shot it. That's what it was. They shot the fucker, and yelled at him, and burst their eardrums. That's what happened.
Jesus, bro?
Now, how do we know?
Hey, I think your finger was on your speaker. We couldn't hear you. Your microphone.
At all?
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
Like,
It happens. So
you know-
that bug-eyed creature, was that just Steve Buscemi? No.
It might have been, man. You know what I mean? Could have been a bad night for him.
No, bro, that was the son of the Mothman and Sasquatch, the Moth Squatch.
Moth Squatch, yeah.
Yeah, West Virginia has this creature. It's called the Mothman. It only shows up when before tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
Which is fucking wild. What's the name of the bug-eyed creature though? I don't want to
I
run
just
into
called
it.
The bug-eyed creature, so that's what I remember. You know what I mean? This bug-eyed.
Trademark Moth Squatch.
You know?
Moth Squatch. Dude, that's fucking crazy. Like, I heard of people catching the chupacabra recently. I don't know if you're familiar with the chupacabra, but they suck.
Is that a cold from some country or something?
I think. I don't know. But they're like, it's some naked dog. I'm like, that ain't a fucking naked dog. All dogs are naked, technically. That dog is.
Oh, I could save my dog and call him a Cooper Padre.
That dog's always naked. He ain't no chupacabra. What the No, but this dog had some kind of a skin disorder. I don't know. It looked kind of like Joan Rivers.
Hell, I got one of those.
You got a chupacabra, bro.
I might be part Chupacabra.
Bro, I can't be a chupacabra. I got too much fucking hair on this body.
Every time I hear about Chupacabra, I keep wanting to say it's that creature from Futurama they called the Chupanibre.
The chupanibre. Oh, check this out.
I'm really
Nikki.
just a squatch with like hair loss problem in this area.
Oh, that's called alopecia.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah. I'm in good company. Just can't mention Will's wife.
He'll slap you in the fucking mouth.
I'm looking around.
I actually had this bit I was doing there for a little while, but I took it out of my set where I'm like, ladies, don't worry. I shaved on there. It just is kind of weird because it looks like I have alopecia.
Should have kept it. I like it.
Yeah, that's funny.
My shit looks like Jada Pinkett Smith, bro.
That might have been.
Except it's not sleeping with a bunch of other guys.
$20 is $20. You know,
I would at least ask 50. Damn.
Damn, you're getting $20. I need to move in your neck of the woods.
Dude, the economy's pretty good where I live, kinda. Just food's expensive, but blowjobs are cheap. It depends though. Are the teeth extra?
Oh,
Well,
Jesus Christ, man.
Definitely a bonus.
I like to get with ladies that have false teeth so you can pick whether they have them or not. Because like I call her my little gummy bear, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
God.
Where did we go from Sasquatch to gummy bears? This is fucking crazy.
Seat Squatch and I, he knows me. He knows my sense of humor. It's fucking... Me and him used to sit on Discord for hours and just see what fucked up shit we could come up with, and people just come and go. I think I made a couple of people mad sometimes on Discord with my sense of humor. Because I talk about religion and stuff, and you don't talk about that to some people. It's what you're smoking. Is that a cigar? Or is that just a big ass blunt? Because I know you're seed blunts.
That's some of my tobacco I grew.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
By the way, he grows tobacco, and
I grow tobacco. Here's some growing on the front porch that just grew over from last year. I don't know if I can flip my camera around. Probably
like
not.
the kind of man that grows tobacco.
There's there. It's growing right there. Growing.
Oh, that's sexy though.
Yeah, that's cool. Sure beats buying them.
Oh hell yeah, it does. I know it's grown. I know it's been sprayed on it, which is just formaldehyde. I put all kinds of other crazy shit on it. Just joking.
Damn, this dude over here, he's cutting his fucking tobacco with bleach.
I don't spray anything on my tobacco. It's all organic.
What's this cut with? Organic bleach. That's what it's.
No, it's cut with Viagra, bro.
Dude, speaking of Viagra,
I agree.
Those are organic hormone.
an organic hormone. If you want a hormone, just go to the Bunny Ranch over in Nevada.
All natural hormones.
But what was I saying before all that? You said something, and I said speaking of, and I lost my thought.
Grown from menstruating guinea pig.
That's the name of my heavy metal band, the Menstruating Guinea Pig.
I would go see that band, bro.
Opening for Green Jello.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was like, dude, it reminded me of Green Jelly, dude, back in, you know what I mean?
Like me and Usnik were talking yesterday, and we came up with a band name. I want to see someone use this. Those who know. Make that the band name. I think that would be a freaking like.
Those who know.
Everybody like,
it would get
exactly.
Weird,
there was this band I listened.
Like, yeah, we get that those who know should know, but we want to know the name of the band. They'd be like, well, those who know.
Exactly. See, you get it right away.
You won't tell me the name of the band? Fuck you! They're fighting and shit.
And then the mosh pit starts. Everybody wins.
There was a band that I used to listen to in MySpace days.
The fight starts and you get famous.
There was this band I would listen.
One song, man, and it's like all over the news now. We had one song into our set. We're like famous for that one song. Those who know. What was the name of the song? I don't know the name of the song, but I can tell you the name of the band, I think.
No, I think Open for Those Who Know.
Or
Yeah.
maybe that was the name of the song, I think.
What's the name of that song they did? That song?
There was that song. Yeah.
I love that song.
Well,
It goes really good with that tune.
There was that song. Yeah.
There was this band I used to listen to during MySpace days. The name of the band was Beats the Hell Out of Me. So whatever your name of the band you're listening to, Beats the Hell Out of Me. And their hit song was Fucked If I Know.
Oh God, my cheeks are hurting. You're making me laugh too hard today, guys.
What are you listening to? Fucked If I Know.
I had family that I grew up. They used to visit me. They'd come every summer. They'd come down from Maine. So I was used to the accent. Fucked if I know. You know what I mean? Like. So anyway, yeah, dude, that's fucking funny.
What are you listening to? Fucked If I Know. Who sings it? Beats the hell out of me. So for your shows coming up, though, is it just you, or do you have a band?
My guitar player buddy, he's like not technically a part of Seed Squatch, but he's part of Seed Squatch. You know what I mean? He's part of the team or whatever. He's the cat that like actually encouraged me to go in the studio up in Seattle and record these songs, record Ms. Mary. And he was like, dude, I'll play guitar on it if you need me to. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So he's a killer guitar player. His name's he's Professor Jim Ellentini. He's the recording arts professor there at Syracuse University up in New York.
You have a professor, Jesus. I need to up my game. I got a professional wrestler and a Seed Squatch. I need to.
So yeah, man, he's gonna come down for the show, and it's just gonna be me and him.
That is fucking cool, dude.
Very cool.
Do you have a doctor in your band too?
I would be considered a doctor of sorts.
You got a PhD.
Dr. Squatch.
You got a PhD, but minus the PH.
I've got the Dr. Squatch soap. That makes me certified now.
There you go.
That answered my question. Is Dr. Squatch your favorite soap to use?
It is now. My daughter sent me 3 bars for Father's Day. I don't know if she tells me I'm a stink-ass father or...
That's one way to tell you. Hey. Pancake. Yeah.
She really loves me. Nah,
I mean, you never left for milk, so we're good.
Really...
Oh, shit, you froze, bro.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's begun. Well, I'm going to bring him.
It's only just begun. Oh, yep, he got it.
Dr. Squatch.
I've had Dr. Squatch once. Well, I've tried it. I haven't had him. Like he did. Let me take my word
Oh.
back.
There was a night in Calhoun.
No, but Dr. Squatch is a really good soap.
Yeah, it is.
I've heard good things for sure.
Yep, it is. I've never tried it until like it was just Father's Day, I guess.
Have you tried
taking a bath right now?
Have you ever? Are you taking a bath while you're on the show? Let's just.
Oh, we're doing that episode. Okay.
I could do that. Why not? Fuck it.
I recently started trying Everyman Jack, that shampoo company, because my workplace gave it to me for free, and that shit's pretty good, but it's expensive because it's like natural.
What is your?
Huh?
So your work says you stink.
Yeah, my work's like you suck,
Yep, you need some Dr. Squatch, bro.
huh?
Need that Dr. Squatch.
I do need Dr. Squatch. It'll probably help with the chafing between my butt cheeks.
Yep.
I didn't need to know that.
You've seen it.
It hurt trying it, I tell you that.
He's over here subscribed to my OnlyFans and acts like he ain't seen my rash.
Hey, listen, I got to get those RL strength and conditioning bookings somehow. Okay.
So CDC,
Yo.
you recently released a song. Well, not recently, but you released a song somewhat recently. How's that been doing?
They're doing all right. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just about what to be expected. Like, really haven't had a lot of money to promote it or anything, but I'm just other than just like spreading the word and getting people that are interested in it, like on an organic, grassroots level. If you dig it, you dig it.
I find that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All good.
I find it very interesting that like we got a comedian, a professional wrestler, and a musician, and all of us can recognize that struggle of, hey man, we got to get the word out. We got to let people know, and all of us are doing it on $0.
Yep. Yeah. We call that governmental nomics. I don't care who's running it, but it don't matter what idiot's running it. They're gonna fuck us.
Damn right.
Speaking of, I'm announcing right now, if I ever make it famous, I'm gonna run for president for shits and giggles. And that's gonna be my slogan.
Country? Moving there, shits and giggles. I'll go there and vote.
That's gonna be my slogan, shits and giggles.
If you ever open a strip club, there's the name.
I'm not naming my shit club Shits and Giggles. That's a comedy club.
Moving out of here. I was packing up, moving to Shits and Giggles, man. I was gonna vote fucking Mike Houston, Nick.
I'm not just running for president though of America. I'm running for president of both Americas. We're gonna reunite both Americas, South and North.
All two of them.
Oh my God, dude. What would you do if you was president? Like, I'd do some crazy shit.
Dude, I'd
get fired.
I'd fire everybody. Like every one of them. I'd be tyrannical as fuck. I'd fire every one of them.
I would go into Area 51 and do a live stream.
They'd be like, fucking Hitler. He's firing everyone.
I would probably do every State of the Union address in my boxers and be like, "Hey guys, it's fucking Sunday. It's my day off. What the fuck you want?"
I did the State of the Union in my bathtub.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
What was that, dude?
I'm surprised Biden hasn't done that yet.
I'm waiting for one time when he's doing one of his speeches to end it with "Woo!"
I wish he would, so I know he was alive. Give me a Ric
I'm
Flair.
sorry, but Ric Flair needs to be president.
Ric Flair for
It
president.
needs to happen, damn it.
Yeah, I met him once. Him and Dusty Rhodes at the same time. I was making coffee, bro, at an event where I was a stagehand at one of the wrestling events in the Quad Cities. It was the Mark of the Quad Cities. That was the name of the place, the venue. And
Cool.
And I'm sitting there, bro, and the whole event's going on and everything. So I'm done with my job, so I can go get a coffee and sitting there, I'm minding my own affair, making a coffee. There's no one at the table, right? And you're not supposed to talk to any of the wrestlers or any of the performers unless they talk to you. Then you're allowed to talk to them. And then, so I'm sitting there making my coffee, dude. And next thing you know, I look to my left, and fucking Ric Flair pulled up, dude. I'm like, and then I look to my right, fucking Dusty Rhodes, bro. Like, I could not believe it. And they start talking about the coffee and asking me how the coffee was. So I'm like, naturally, I start talking to them. You know what I mean? We were laughing and shooting shit. I can't remember what I was saying. I just couldn't believe I was talking with these guys, period, about anything. It's just ridiculous, right?
I know that feeling.
That's fucking.
I know that.
What's ridiculous is that Rick is still around.
So I wanted to tell Rick a story, but I didn't. I couldn't get into it because it was. So when I was a kid, I was 12 years old. Actually, it was my buddy's 13th birthday. He was a little older than me. I was 12. But for his birthday, his parents took us to a wrestling match at we had fifth row seats, man. Right.
Nice.
Right on the aisle as they came down. And so Rick ran out there and I fucking punched him in the arm. And that fucker pushed me back into the seat, bro, and against me and my buddy. We fell all down and shit. And it was the greatest thing ever, bro. You know what I mean?
I got a funny meeting a famous wrestler story, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm doing a show in Pittsburgh. I am on the show, and they have Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express on the show. We show up, and rule of thumb, you shake everybody's hands. Mm-hmm. So I go over, shake their hands, and I'm wearing this top hat that I got with bones on it. And they're like, dude, you look like Slash, motherfucker. You look just like Slash. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Guess I'm fucking Slash now. Awesome. About 5-10 minutes later, I'm standing by the ring talking to some people, and I hear I think it was Robert Gibson, because he was the one with the lazy eye. I always get the names mixed up, but I hear him go, Slash. I go, yeah, what's up? And in front of God and everybody, got any weed?
Yes.
And I didn't have any on me. And I was like, no, man, I didn't. I was like, son of a bitch, I just missed my opportunity to smoke with the Rock and Roll.
Dude, that's crazy. You know what? That one time when I was a kid and I got, I punched Ric Flair in the arm, Rock and Roll Express was at that one too, and they fought. I can't remember who the fuck they were fighting that night, but I was a big fan of the Rock and Roll Express, dude. That and the Road Warriors too. I fucking love the Road Warriors.
Oh, hell yeah.
You want to know what's nuts? The Rock and Roll Express is still actively wrestling.
I think one of them's retired, but the other one is wrestling with his son.
Yeah. Well, one of them retired, like he said, but the other one's still wrestling with his son. I'm like, they're fucking 90. What are you doing?
Right.
Is that possible? I'm trying to do the math right now.
You know it's bad when his son just retired and he's still going.
Well, let's see. They got to be about at least 12, 13, 14 years older than me. And I'm fucking 49. I'm going to be 50 soon.
Okay.
So.
Let's see.
I was like 20-something when I met them, so that was a minute ago.
Ricky Morton is 67.
And he's still going.
So
and he's the one still going.
Yeah.
So when I was like 12, he was like 30.
Well, that's like Ric Flair just had his last match and he's 74.
Almost died.
Really?
Yeah, he had a major heart attack in the ring. He passed out.
Are you fucking
Twice.
serious?
Twice. And he didn't even have a heart attack. He went and partied with Kid Rock afterwards.
Yeah, dude. He was in the match. He said that he thought he got dehydrated, passed out twice. About a year later, he sees his doctor, and they find a hole in his heart about that big. And they're like, did you pass out any time within the last year? He's like, yeah, when I had my match. They're like, dude, you had a heart attack.
That is the most Ric Flair thing I've ever fucking heard.
That's crazy.
Because back in 1994, back in 94, Ric Flair said in a segment, he said, I'm either going to die doing this or on top of a wild woman. And I think he wasn't joking.
He wasn't joking when he said that. Yeah.
The motherfucker is honest.
It was cool that the night I actually met him and Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, that same night, they were backstage and they were going over their little script together in front of everybody, like doing their little bit for the night. They were like getting it down pat, and I was blown away by that, dude. I was like, like this.
No,
they're hardcore practicing their words, and like they're fucking like total actors, man. Like fucking, you know what I mean? Like just full blown, like I was blown away, man.
And you know what's wild?
Legitimate. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. You go.
You know what's wild is the way they did it then and how they do it now is kind of different. Because back in the day, each individual wrestler could kind of figure out their own lines. It wasn't as scripted as it became in like the early 2000s and shit.
Right.
The wrestlers could improvise a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to throw my 2 cents in on this one since we're talking about my business here. When it comes to wrestling now, a lot of guys like to know pretty much everything they're doing because they're doing the big flips and dives and shit that, you know, shortens your life every time you do it, kind of thing. Personally, and I've had matches like you said, laying out shit, and I'm going over my match with a guy, and he's like, "We got 30 minutes, bro," and I go, "Dude, trust me, we will go 30 minutes." We don't have to lay out every little thing. I always tell people wrestling is not acting, it is improv. Because you gotta kinda know how to go with the flow and adapt on the fly.
Kind of like comedy. Which is very interesting because comedy and wrestling go kind of hand in hand.
Again, pointing out comedy, wrestling, music, we're all performing in front of people and we gotta kinda know how to adapt a little bit, you know?
Absolutely.
You just said comedy, music, and wrestling. I thought you were describing Chris Jericho there for a minute. He does all three, dude. So, do you think Rob Van Dam ever wrestled not stoned?
See, usually that question's the other way around.
Like, I think he's stoned all the time.
I don't think he's been sober since like 92.
Do you know Rob Van Dam is Seat Squatch? I know you used to watch wrestling way back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah, he got kicked out of WWE twice for having weed.
Dude, he was the WWE champion and ECW champion at the same time and got busted with fucking pot in Ohio.
You want to?
That's a bad spot.
What's really funny is I heard a story about Iron Sheik getting fired for having cocaine.
Fuck to it.
Yeah, and Vince is like, "Hey, we found cocaine in your system." He's like, "Oh, that's very good," and he's like, "No, it's not good at all.
That's
like,
just desert dust."
Well, you know what he said? He said, "Did Roddy Piper test positive for the cocaine?" And Vince's like, "No." "Did Hacksaw Jim Duggan test positive for the cocaine?" He's like, "No, I don't understand." And Vince is like, "Why? They were with me."
Oh god, I miss Sheiky, baby. That fucking shit.
Did you ever follow Sheik, Seed?
Yep.
His Twitter was wild.
Oh, damn, I followed him. No, not as a Twitter or anything, but I'm talking as a kid. I grew up watching him, you know what I mean?
He is the originator of the Haktui on that thing.
Right? Oh my god, dude, that's fucking so true. I never thought about that.
Well, what's crazy is, did you watch his interviews on Howard Stern and shit?
Somebody's got to make a meme now about that, bro. You got to make one up about that.
Ushnik sent me one. You know,
you beat you to it.
Yeah, there is one. It's that woman. They're like interviewing her and like, "So how do you keep a man?" And it switches over to Iron Sheik. He's like, "Hawk toy," and it shows the woman. She's like, "Spit on that thing."
Perfect.
Dude,
my cat doesn't know how to stay out of my camera.
Did you ever watch when he was on Howard Stern and those like interviews after his career was over?
No.
He was part of the Whack Pack on Howard Stern. He would come on there and sit down and they're like, "So what is your honest opinions of Hulk Hogan?" He's like, "Fuck the no good
Hulk Hogan."
He's like, "I will suplex him, lock him in camel clutch, break his back, fuck his ass, make him humble. Because he's gay." And Howard Stern,
I will tell you now, my Squatch friend, I fuck this Sasquatch. I put Sasquatch in camel clutch and fuck its ass and make it humble because Iron Sheik #1.
What was weird about those interviews though is they're like, so you're calling Hulk gay, but you're fucking him in the ass, and Iron Chick's like, "We're
No,
gay."
nothing gay about fucking in the ass. Nothing gay about it, brother.
Nothing gay, Bubba.
Nothing gay, Papa. Yeah.
By the way, welcome to Pink Sock. You having fun?
Right?
We haven't even showed a nipple yet.
We would love to have you on more often, though, Seed, because we are doing this.
Yeah, man.
Regularly. It's going to be like a hangout session. It's not really an interview or anything. It's just whoever comes by wants to hang out with us.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down, bro. Oh yeah.
You down with the clown? Are you a juggalo?
A juggalo. Nah.
He looks more like a member of the Wyatt family, if we're being honest.
Let him in.
Which that shit, by the way, Monday they aired some shit. That stuff fucking wrenched at your heartstrings, bro. If you didn't see the interview they did with Bo Dallas, oh Jesus.
I'm sorry to change the subject, but I saw a video today that you guys need to watch.
Uh-oh.
Ozzy Osbourne is now doing fucking commercials for that water. What's the name of it? That canned water?
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death. He's doing a commercial for Liquid Death, bro. The commercial is these two kids, and now Liquid Death, you can get it in a powder and you add it to your water. And they open it up and they go to add the powder to water, and Ozzy pulls up and is like, "Don't snort it." And the kids are like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh," and they're like, "You don't snort this." He's like, "Don't freebase it." And they're like, "Free what?" He's like, "Don't boof it. You, even though you're a fucking pervert." And the kids are like, "What is boofing it?" "When you shove it up your ass." And they're like, "It's not. it's water." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he like drives away.
What I love about Ozzy Osbourne, if he's not being filmed or singing, you can't understand a word he says. It's just
Like, no shit. And I have firsthand experience with what you just said. At the Hampton Coliseum, man, I saw him play a show, and we were sitting along the side of the stadium, and my cousin dared me to jump down and try to follow him backstage when
oh shit.
to go do his solo, and Ozzy was taking a break because he took a break after his set and would run backstage, right? Well, I took him up on it, right? So I was like, I'm all right, I'm gonna try to get back there and meet Ozzy. Well, it worked. I walked right up as Ozzy walked off stage with two security guys, each with flashlights lighting his way. I was walking right behind him like I was part of the security.
Nice.
And I walked right into this little makeshift black room that they, because they got these little makeshift rooms for him. It was just a little black room, and had a little bulletin board and stuff up on it, whatever. But I walked in, I'm like, Ozzy. Turns out he goes, my. And I gave him a hug, and he's giving me a hug, and he's like, my. And they grabbed me. They realized I didn't have a backstage pass. Security grabbed me and yanked me out of the room and kicked me out of Hampton Coliseum. I ended up sneaking back in. Some kids opened the doors, and I ran in, snuck back down, got back into the show. But nice. I didn't understand a fucking word of what he said to me.
That's great.
Not one word. It was like, oh.
Dude, I have a friend that met Ozzy, and he said
gave
the
me
same
a hug,
thing.
man, and that's what mattered.
You got to hug Ozzy.
That's right.
Damn right, man.
How did he smell? Not to be weird or nothing, but how did he smell?
I don't remember that, dude. That's all I know is I met Ozzy, bro, and I was just blown away, and I couldn't believe I made it backstage. I was like, oh my god, thinking. Because, like, I obviously didn't have the credentials to be back there for, like, more than a split fucking second before the security was all over my ass. You know what I mean? They're like, wait a minute. Dude, what are you doing in here?
That's horrible security that you made it to hugging him.
I was in the room with him. They didn't, you know what I mean? That was unbelievable.
That is something I can say I've never done at a wrestling event or music or whatever. Has I ever been able to sneak backstage?
Dude, I was 19. I was 19 when that happened. Either 19.
Dude.
Yeah.
I've never snuck backstage, but I've been backstage. Like, I was supposed to be there.
That was a long time ago. I'm 49. That was like literally 30 years ago, fellas. That's crazy.
Dude, I don't think I'd ever have the balls to do that. What year was that you saw?
That would be 94, I think, bro. I have to, I could find out the exact date. Look up
Dude, I was born in 93. You're
Sepultura.
telling me I was 1. Holy
Sepultura.
shit.
Sepultura was opening that show for Ozzy. So it was Sepultura Ozzy at the Hampton Coliseum in 94. Look it up.
Dude. Like I said, I was 1 year old when that happened. Like, holy fuck.
You said Sepultura
And Ozzy.
and Ozzy. What was the name of the Coliseum?
Hampton Coliseum in Virginia.
Coliseum.
Here we go.
Oh, shit.
19. Well, he's been there many times, but when he was there with Sepultura, it was on April 24th, 1996.
Okay, 96 it was then.
It was also Typo Negative. It was Ozzy Osbourne, Typo Negative, and Sepultura.
Right on.
All right,
I'm
I'm just.
Negative. Fuck you. They're good. They're so good.
I will say this as somebody who's been to like enough concerts to know the one thing I cannot stand is when they do that bit where they got the mic, they want the crowd to sing, but freaking, I'm not paying to watch the crowd fucking sing. I'm paying to watch you sing, motherfucker.
You know what pisses me off? And I'm gonna be the first to do this if I ever make it that big. Comedians don't do encores. You know how fucking cool that would be? Leave the stage and everyone's like, woo! And then the comedian comes back on. Also, where's the mosh pits?
Yeah. Fucking yeah. Oh my god, what would you what joke would people be mosh pitting to? That
Russian jokes.
now, can you imagine if any other job was like that? Like, yep, here's half your taxes. Good night. Come on with the refund, Irv. Come on. No, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Make some noise. Maybe I'll come back to the rest of your taxes.
You know who was the king of doing encores, though? Ozzy. That man would be screaming from backstage as you're waiting for him to come out. I can't hear you. Put your hearing aids in. Like,
Alice Cooper does some pretty good freaking encore, too. I believe he did an encore when we saw him.
Oh, yeah, he does. His encore is always... he always closes the night with School's Out. Well, lately he does School's Out mixed with Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall.
Dude, what threw me off was like the show we went to. It was fuck, I just said his name. Alice Cooper, and then Deep Purple.
Oh, I went to that show.
So you were at that show.
I do believe, yes.
Okay, so Alice was first, and he had all this pyro and fire and like showmanship, and here comes a bunch of guys who look like my dad, fucking, and they pull out and then the fucking dude's playing, and he fucks up. So it's like you hear the crowd just go, ooh.
On Smoke on the Water. That'd be fucking.
Yeah, I think it was Smoke on the Water.
Oh man, you messed up Smoke on the Water. You're done.
Especially if you wrote it.
Yeah, it's a fucking song.
Like, do you know what's crazy though is I was at that show, but I was also the year before Deep Purple was touring with Judas Priest.
Ooh, yeah.
And they had Judas
I would have loved to seen that.
Priest
awesome.
opened. Priest opened. And I'm like, why is Priest opening? Everybody fucking left. Like there was only like me and like 3 other people. I'm exaggerating, but there was like me and like only a few other people. And then they did Smoke.
That would have been a hilarious stage dive.
They did Smoke on the Water as like their
I'd have done
song. Smoke on the Water was
tuck and roll, man.
Like they didn't even close with Smoke on the Water. That's what annoyed me. I'm like, well, now
You either open with it or you close with it, because that's the one song everyone's there to hear.
no, you close with it. If you're a musician that has a song that is your biggest song, you play that shit last, so people have to start.
Yeah,
Very true.
That's like having a wrestling match and starting with your finisher. Like that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but that's a jobber.
Well, the one thing that has thrown me off, I've done indie shows where it's like, okay, the guy who's the top champion was like match 2, And I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
You know what's weird? Let me tell you about the last time that I saw Rob Zombie, right? Do you want to guess who the third band before him was? Just throw band names out there and see if you can guess.
White Snake, I don't fucking know.
No,
Well-
Ice Cube. Fucking Ice
The
Cube.
fuck? Like that's oil and water. That don't mix very well.
I'm like, journey with me into the mind of a maniac. Yes, they opened with it. Doomed to be a
Yes.
killer, came out the nutsack. And
And
then,
then New Jack came out and started stabbing people.
and then they did fucking Fuck the Police and all them songs. And then Rob Zombie came out not long after. Like, I started a mosh pit to Natural Born Killers and Fuck the Police. I did.
Nice.
Dude, I want to see Weird Al in a standing room because I want to mosh to Amish Paradise.
Dude, hell yeah.
Dude, we need to like get the money together collectively and have a festival headlined by Weird Al, just to start a wall of death during one of us.
Now we need to have Weird Al and then have Rob Van Dam do a frog splash off the top of the stage through a table into the crowd.
Dude, I saw a guy one time, crazy fuck. He climbed the fucking there was like a beam on the stage. There was like 15, 20 feet high. He climbed all the way to the top of that and then jumped.
I'll tell this story.
Wasn't that
Good.
like Eddie Vedder?
No, this was Eddie Vedder has no songs that requires him to do that, but I've seen him do it. Like he hasn't done. What's he gonna do? Go up there? Like, you have no-
I will tell you right now, something that pro wrestlers do that musicians and stand-ups will not do for no money whatsoever. For hot dogs and handshakes, they will try to kill themselves because they think it will be a very cool thing to do.
You've never heard of Gigi Allen, have you?
I'm just saying, when we've had to talk a guy out of jumping off a 20-foot ladder onto a freaking brick road, like,
I do not want to
Yeah.
see his search history.
no, we all told him, it's like, dude, you're not doing that. He's like, yeah, come on, let's do it. And we're like, no, you're not. We're not going to let you die today. Thank you very much.
Dude, I would hate to see his porn history. Like he's into something. If he's fucking doing that shit. Like I don't get it. Are you familiar with Gigi Allen, guys?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
He was like a pro wrestler, except he'd throw shit into the audience. And beat the fuck out of himself. But there's another group, and I mentioned this to DA over here. Seed, have you heard of the band Kettle Cadavere? I think is how you pronounced it. Kettle Cadavere. They're a lesser known underground band, but they grew a huge following because the lead singer, who had his own wrestling company, by the way, which was shoot fighting, like they would beat the fuck out of each other, whatever. Well, he would go on stage and do crazy shit. Now, when I say crazy shit, there's no other great way to explain it. He made Gigi Allen look like fucking Sesame Street. This dude went on stage and nailed his foreskin to a board while singing.
Ow!
He was a fan of Steve-O, apparently.
Yeah, this dude ended up he quit doing the band, but he was like a
Not to
solo artist.
remove that. He should have had that done when he was younger.
But no, he's over nailing his junk to it.
The first ever live transition. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God!
Did you know that people that aren't circumcised, they don't need to wear a condom, they just tie it? They just tie it off.
Fun, dude.
And then when they finish, they untie it and then they just squeeze it into her mouth like an icing bag.
Oh, that's fucking gnarly.
I don't want to know your internet history, bro. Like,
You can't see it because it's incognito, bitch.
Do not log into his hotspot, whatever you do.
right?
My Wi-Fi hotspot's just called "I'm not watching porn."
You, Snake, you might know who this is. Have you ever heard of a comedian called Josh Wolf?
I love Josh
Josh
Blue.
Wolf.
Josh
Yeah,
Wolf.
I think so. The name sounds really
he does. He has this bit where he's setting up an iPad, and his son set up his iPad, and he's looking through pictures, and he sees a picture, and he goes, "Huh, that's not my dick. And he's like, and he thought someone would send his wife dick pics, and he wasn't going to say nothing because he had that one beat. So he's like, yeah, baby, keep staring at that little dick. I think I got this going on. And then he's like, wait a minute. I recognize the IKEA desk behind the dick. And he's like, I made that desk and that dick. And he confronts his son, and his son's like, was there any pictures of Ashley on there? And he's like, are you telling me there are pictures of a naked underage girl on my iPad? No, if you didn't see them, there isn't.
Jesus, dude, you almost had to register.
That's scary.
And that is why I do not let my kids use my phone.
You want to
Hey,
know
man, that's
something like that? Something like that happened to a relative of mine. He not on his computer, but he got arrested for supposedly assaulting an underage girl. Now, he was told if he pleads guilty, he serves less time. If he pleads innocent, which he is innocent in this situation, he gets 20 years. So he went ahead and said that he's guilty, even though he wasn't, and was going to serve like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. Well, a few months into the sentence, they found the real guy. But he had to still serve the full sentence because he pled guilty. That is how our court
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Now he's legally fighting because he shouldn't have to register because he was proven he didn't fucking do it.
Wow, that's terrible.
We unfortunately live in a country now where you are guilty till proven innocent, and even then people still think you did it.
Yeah. Well, like one of my favorite comedians, yeah, he did what they said he did, but he never went to court over it or nothing. But Louis C.K. got canceled. Now, it was weird when that happened to Louis because what he did, I don't think he should have lost his entire career over. They were comparing him to like Weinstein and Epstein and shit. And I'm like, all he did was he jerked off in front of some people. Like, if that's a crime, put me away. But no, what's weird is like Louis would joke about that on stage, and then when he got caught doing the thing, people were then like, well, can we trust comedians anymore? Because they're joking, but are they really joking? And I'm like, hey, you can't really like judge all comedians based on your Bill Cosbys and your fucking Louis C.K.'s.
Yeah.
I think Dave Chappelle has a good bit where he's like, it's like telling your buddy you banged an ugly chick. And they're like, oh, Dave, man, that's just Dave being Dave. But then they see a tape of it, and they're like, man, that's fucked up. They're like, what? You know what I did?
Yeah, true. Like, hey, he also did a bit. He was like, also, there's nothing less threatening than a man with his own cum on his chest. Like, there's nothing less threatening.
Why do I do this podcast with you?
I didn't say it. He did. I was quoting somebody. You can't hate the messenger. You can only hate the person. Who's your favorite comedian right now, Seed?
Fuck, man. I don't know, man. That's
so many good ones.
There's a lot of good ones out there, man. I mean, I scroll around on Instagram, dude, and there were some cats I was laughing at yesterday. I had no idea who the fuck they are, man. But I just was cracking up, you know what I mean? It's like, holy shit. Even actually, just before I got on the show, actually, I was watching some dude do a bit. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Ever watch Kill Tony?
No.
Oh, you need to. You are a fan of offensive comedy or comedy of all sorts. Kill Tony goes back to the old ways of comedy where like roasting is in and all that shit. So nothing is off limits on their show. So what you do is before the show, if you're an aspiring comic, you write your name on a list, you buy a ticket. They then call you or get a hold of you and let you know you've been picked. You get a minute on stage and then you get roasted by whatever comedians or whatever celebrities show up. So,
dude, I think Ric Flair did one of their episodes and they're like, he got way too personal. Like he's talking about his son's death and shit.
No, he said, I don't make fun of anybody who donates their time. Like, he was hammered. Who donates their time. I'm out of here. And he like, fuck.
But it's like, that's the whole thing. That's the whole reason you're there is to make fun of the guy.
There was a guy one time on there, and the joke was so dark, but it made me chuckle because the guy was dressed up like Dr. Phil that was doing the roasting. And Tony was talking to this guy. He's like, so to give us a little bit of your life history. And the guy's like, well, He's like, I was molested by 7 different guys when I was a kid. And Tony's like, now it's your chance, Dr. Phil. And the guy who played Dr. Phil was like, all right, who's your favorite? Fucking Tony's like, no.
There was a guy who was on there. The dude, I guess he has some kind of disease where he looks 12, but he's like in his 40s. And he goes, you could consider me a reverse pedophile?
There's this one woman on there. She's in a wheelchair. Like, she's like handicapped, but she's like, has like a progressive disease where she just keeps getting worse. And she's fucking hilarious. She's like, I feel bad because like, I hate being in a wheelchair because you guys can't see how good of an ass I have.
I saw that. Yeah.
And she like, she goes
I
into the
actually saw
bit.
that.
And then Tony was like, remember, folks, eat your vegetables. I'm like, oh.
I think I see bits of that actually here and there on like IG or something.
Ever watch
The-
Shane Gillis?
Killed
Who?
Tony.
Who was that one you sent me where the guy had the disability and he had to talk through his phone? Like his phone did all the talking for him.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
I forget that guy, but he roasted Tony good. One
That was great. Just that whole bit was great you sent me.
one that threw me off was, do you guys know who Harland Williams is?
Name sounds familiar.
He was popular in a lot of movies in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. He played in, I'm trying to think off the top of my head because he played in Dumb and Dumber. He played the cop in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
He played
Half Baked. Remember?
Half Baked,
Kenny's virgin ass.
but he was on Kill Tony, and one of the comics decided to try to roast him, and they didn't realize how good Harland is at this. This guy was coming at Harlan with a bunch of roasts, and then Harlan would hit him with one really good one. And then the kid would keep going. This kid was like a heavy set black guy. And as the guy was talking, Harlan finally said, "You're the only motherfucker I know who has muffin tops on his goddamn ankles." And then the guy just kept coming at him, and he's like, "Most of the country has Lyme disease. You have key lime pie disease."
I saw a bit on like TikTok, or it was TikTok or YouTube, and you ever see the show Wildin' Out?
Oh yeah, Nick Cannon.
Okay, so
before he had 19 kids and counting.
Right,
That should be his new
right.
show. 19 kids and
So
counting.
they're doing like that, the back and forth roasting, and she looked at this dude and the big old black guy, and she goes, "You would only eat my pussy if it was deep fried."
Oh, that's rough. Well, you know what's crazy is Tony. The reason why his show really started taking
Better
off.
batter it up, man.
The reason why that show Kill Tony really took off the way it did was because somebody tried canceling him, and he refused to go on the news and apologize. So his show just kept getting more and more popular.
Good.
Well,
Again, I say no one truly gets canceled. They just shift your fan base.
That's all.
Yeah.
it is,
yeah, that's what happened to the Klan.
I'm just saying, Bill Cosby's real popular with a certain group in prison right now. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I bet you, like he's teaching some cat something in there. He's fucking.
Yeah, have a stuck on that pudding pot, if you know what I mean.
Isn't it weird? Oh shit, he left and then he's back. Isn't it weird that like Bill Cosby played a character who was a gynecologist? like.
Oh fuck!
I'm not saying art imitates reality, but like the only way that would have been even more believable is if he was like the neighborhood creeper. Like, he did a whole bit in the 60s about drugging women, and it flew under everybody's radar.
Really?
Watch his stand-up special. It's true from, I believe, 1967. About 3 tracks in, there's a track called Spanish Fly, and that's his drug of choice.
Motherfucker knows the year, how many tracks in.
You got some explaining to do, you snake.
Said it was on 8-track, had it on reel.
Bro,
Like, I listen to that shit on repeat. I need to learn how to date.
So this is what autism looks like. You hyperfixate, and you learn fucking everything.
That's awesome. That's great.
But it was now I can't fucking get my words out.
Sorry.
I can still hear you guys. I gotta check something, but I can still hear you.
Now, Bill Cosby special. It's true. From 1969, I was off by a couple years. It was recorded in 67.
Firstly, one of my favorites, and may he rest in peace. There will never be another Ralphie May.
Oh,
and
I love Ralphie May.
I was on TikTok and I came across Jelly Roll's new song that I'm Not Okay.
Dude,
great song, but as I'm watching it, I'm like, holy shit, that's who he reminds me of. He's fucking Ralphie May.
It is. Absolutely, bro.
He's what would happen if Post Malone, Larry the Cable Guy, and Ralphie May had a love child.
I don't want to know who's giving birth to that son bitch.
I would probably that fucking woman that had all them fucking kids, that Octomom or whatever it was. Remember her?
Yeah, because you could fit a whole pack of hot dogs down that bitch's hallway.
Did you? There was a roast where the Octomom was really popular at the time. I don't know if she was in the audience or what, but one of the comedians, I think it was Gary Busey, went up there and he's like Lisa Lampanelli and the Octomom have something in common. They both had about 25 fingers inside of them at once.
I fucking love Gary Busey.
I openly admit, I hope that I live in long enough that by the time I am 80 years old and on my 80th birthday, I'm done paying for shit. It's time to start stealing shit, and then if I get caught, I'll just look right at them, get out of my house.
You know what I want to do on my 90th birthday? I want to meet Keith Richards whenever I turn 90.
Don't worry, he'll be here.
Like I forget who it was. I was watching some stand up and the dude was talking about like freaking people ODing on fucking aspirin, but this dude's fucking mainlining heroin through a fucking garden hose and he's still around. Like what the fuck?
That was Robin Williams 25 years ago. If that tells you anything. Robin Williams was like, nothing will kill Keith, and then 25 years later, Robin's dead. And fucking Keith is still
kicking.
Keith Richards recently actually had to announce the Rolling Stones had to postpone their tour. And he was the guy that had to make the announcement. Now, keep in mind, Keith still parties. He still drinks heavily. Mick Jagger's a marathon jogger. The announcement was Keith had a cigarette in his hand and whiskey in the other. He's like, so we have to postpone the tour because Mick Jagger had a heart attack. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I have a little bit of a headache, but it might be from the stress of the tour. This dude did an interview about how he quit doing cocaine, and he quit doing cocaine when he was 67 because he fell out of a palm tree and cracked his skull. You quit at 67?
God damn it. Who is this? There's a stand-up. The dude's Scottish. He was freaking on daytime television. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about how he met the Rolling Stones, and he's like, freaking you meet Mick Jagger, and he's like, he can't do very much because he's got the little hands.
I saw this guy, Jim Brewer from Half Baked. He did you hear his story about when he met Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He said he accidentally met Ozzy because he was doing the same festival as Ozzy. Like he was a comedian on the bill. Yeah. And he got on the jet he was supposed to be on, and the flight attendant was like, we're now boarding Ozzy Osbourne. And they asked, Jim Brewer asked, we have Ozzy on this flight? And they're like, this is fucking Ozzy's personal jet. We don't know how you got on it, but you're here. And Ozzy gets on it, looks at him, and just starts shuffling. And he sits down. Now the plane takes off. Ozzy stands up and he tries to go into the bathroom, but he shuffles when he walks. And every time we hit turbulence, he got kicked a few feet back. He kept trying to make it to the bathroom. It was the funniest sight I ever seen. Well, Ozzy went in there. He went to the bathroom. He came out. He shuffled past me, and I had to. I'm like, Ozzy, I'm a huge fan. I hate to do this. I know we're supposed to spend time on this flight together, but I'm a big fan. Black Sabbath changed my life. And it's like in that moment, the Prince of Darkness left him, and underneath was the man. And he looked at me. he said the most influential thing a man has ever said to me before. And he said,
That's how I felt. Yeah, I felt.
Oh shit!
Are you sure that he wasn't stuttering because you startled the fuck out of him?
He was saying something real important. I just couldn't exactly figure it out, but I knew it was real.
Well, he was trying to tell you the secret of life and where the fountain of youth was, and it's like, fuck, we can't. If you ever listen to Marilyn Manson do interviews, it's the same way. It's like, I'm sure you're saying something important. We just can't fucking understand you.
We may have to record it, slow it down, and play it in reverse, y'all. I mean, have we even tried this yet?
Ozzy might have the answer to everything. Did you ever watch that? Did you ever watch that interview of Ozzy when he was sitting there? I love this man, but he was sitting there and he was like this. And the woman asked him a question, and Zakk Wylde was answering them, but she was talking to Ozzy. And she's like, "Are you enjoying the tour?" And Zach's like, "Yes, yes." and then Ozzy 2 minutes later, like 3 questions down the road, goes, "Yeah, this tour has been lovely." Like he just registered the question from 2 minutes ago.
Whatever he's smoking, I want some.
And then there's that famous video when he was pouring the orange juice and being interviewed, and the woman's like, "So what's life on the tour like?" He's like, "Well, we used to be drug fiends, and we used to do all these drugs and have all this sex." And she's like, "So you're wired more together now?" He's like, "No." He's like, "We still do all that. We just used to as well." I fucking love that man. He was in an interview one time, and they're like, "So how are you doing, Ozzy?" And he's like, "What?" And the interviewer's like, "I said hello, Ozzy." He's like, "Hello,
hello."
And like he's not there. Like he's on his. I think that's why he's lived so long, because he doesn't actually exist on our plane. Like,
yeah.
Like, what would you do if you died and you went to wherever we go and there's just Ozzy again? He's the.
I would probably do my best Little Nicky impression. Ozzy Osbourne.
I do have a quick little joke for you guys, and then we can move off of Ozzy.
Oh.
All right. So, Ronnie James Dio dies, and he goes to hell. And Satan says, "What makes you think you belong here?" And Dio's like, "Because I wrote all these scary songs and I influenced a generation." He's like, "All right, sit to my left." All right, a few years pass. Lemmy dies from Motorhead. Lemmy goes down to hell, and they're like, Satan, same question. And Lemmy's like, "I wrote all these really fast songs, and I taught kids about drugs and rock and roll." Well, the devil, yes, I do impersonations. The devil says, "Sit to the right of me, my child." Well, about 176 years later, Ozzy Osbourne's on his deathbed, and he dies. Ozzy goes to hell, and Satan's like, looks to the left, looks to the right, and says, "Well, Ozzy, what makes you think you belong here?" And Ozzy replied with, "Motherfucker, I believe you're in my fucking chair."
I'm sorry, but the best Ozzy Osbourne joke I think I've ever seen has to be from Austin Powers when they're watching TV, and he's like, "Boobs! Then the sun goddamn boobs wrote the joke from the last goddamn movie."
Dude, the Osbournes was comedy gold, but it was sad seeing him like that, because for years we thought he was just like this evil guy that lived in a fucking tower and worshiped Satan. And then they pulled back the jawstrings, and here he's just a drug addict.
Grandpa.
Dude, I've always known that.
Like, I want to see them do a show where he goes, "All right, let me talk to my grandchildren. See, I was mainlining heroin off this hooker's ass. Grandpa, we don't want to hear this. Shut up, you little bastard."
Did you ever watch that performance where that motherfucker got on the microphone and was like, "Hey, do you guys have any drugs?" And the crowd's like, he's like, "Because if you do, please give me some."
I have a funny story, and you reminded me of this, Squatch, when you were telling me about how you snuck back into a concert. I believe it was a Warped Tour. I was at I believe it was the last one or like the one before last. And a buddy of mine was there with his wife. Well, they had brought in some smoke. And his wife was supposed to be the lookout. Well, this is how good of a lookout she was. She goes, you're clear. He hits it, lowers, cop. Fuck. He gets kicked out, right? How he got back in, he waited for the ticket teller to switch, went up to the ticket teller and said, hey, my kids are in there. I got to go get my kids. And they let him right back into the fucking concert.
Wow.
That's fucking great.
Tricked him. He
That's
played
fucking-
the I'm a parent coming to get my kids bit.
That don't work.
Damn right.
That don't work today.
It won't work today.
No.
Yeah, they're like, you don't have no fucking kids.
You're right. You fucking come here with your fucking metal shirt on.
Looking like we look and be like, you ain't got no
Yeah.
fucking kids.
Yeah.
You know what I love is I love going to Marilyn Manson shows. Not because I like Manson. I won't go now after everything I found out about him. But still, when I went and saw Manson back in the day, fucking the Westboro Baptist Church would follow him around, and that
That
shit
makes a lot of sense.
that shit is fucking hilarious. They're out there like,
Yeah.
you're going to hell, you're going to hell, and all the Satanists are like, we hope. Like that's fucking hilarious.
I just want to go to one of their protests just so that way I could have a sign that says legalize it and go, fuck, I'm in the wrong group.
Dude, a buddy of mine went to one of their protests and he was holding up a sign that says "Bring back the McRib" and it had an aborted fetus on it.
Oh my god.
It's like they make the McRib out of fetus, and he's like standing there holding the sign.
God, I used to love the McRibs.
I'm not a fan of the McRib, to be honest with you, and I don't mind the rib sandwiches and shit. It's just never been a fan.
I don't really do fast food anymore.
But
but
not
whenever-
anymore. I know. I tried
Hey.
eating one some years back when they brought it back. I tried eating one. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" What is
Listen, nowadays you talk about fast food, you better be talking about a quickie in that porta potty. That's all I'm saying.
See, the older I get, though, the more I
this?
realize
Might
how.
not be a quickie. You might be there for a minute. A hot minute.
Do you think it's that they changed the recipe, or just our taste is getting different?
The
with
food-
They do say your
it-
taste
it
changes
gives-
as you age.
Oh, damn! I hope I don't like turn gay or nothing. I don't like
Oh, yeah.
taste pussy no more.
Too late.
It was. You just reminded me of a line by Bert Kreischer. He said, He says, "I'm not gay. It's just I'm afraid you're going to get me drunk one night, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to like it, and I'll be good at it."
Did you ever? Did you ever see that picture that Bert Kreischer posted where it says, "Back when there was
I remember
simpler"?
that.
There's a sign
That's funny. That
You
guy's
put on-
funny.
he put on Twitter. It said "simpler times," and it was during COVID, and it shows him standing there butt ass naked, and I think it was Tom Segura or somebody sucking his dick and a bear in the background. And it's,
I think it was Tom Segura. I think I remember hearing about this. It was for them promoting their new podcast, Two Bears, One Cabin.
yeah, one cave, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but it wasn't actually them, but they photoshopped their faces, but it looked real. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. And then Bert Kreischer reenacted that photo. You know that photo of that black guy with his dick out? Like it's a really famous photo.
That's all you
Yeah,
gotta
because
say
I
and
totally
everybody
looked
knows.
that shit up all the time.
That's all you got to say, and everybody knows this. Like, it's just weird.
Well, it's kind of like
Which one?
I can't hear it, Grace. Like, what are you doing?
That's like everybody collectively knows about that video about that video of them two lesbians enjoying a meal out of a cup. Remember that?
I will never forgive you for playing that fucking theme on this podcast, you son of a bitch.
That should be the podcast new theme. How do I get the rights to the Two Girls One Cup theme song? Because I would love for us to enter to that. I'm going to enter to that the next time I do stand up. What do you think, Seat Squatch? Just me coming out to like Two Girls One Cup.
We come out with a cup full of chocolate milk and just take a big sip, and you got a fucking mustache.
And then I just leave. That's all I do.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't stick to my original stage name, the Jeffrey Dahmer of comedy, because that wouldn't.
Hey, Mike, you got an email, man?
So I got a question though, Seed.
Go for
Do
it.
you think Jeffrey Dahmer ate ass, or if he just kept it in the fridge?
My guess is he had to try at least once.
I do know for a fact that he would have not tried to eat me because he said he didn't like eating people with tattoos. The ink made the meat taste funny.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, he said that in an interview. He's like, I didn't like eating people with tattoos because it made them taste funny.
At least he had boundaries.
I'm going right out and getting a tattoo now. I don't have one tattoo, but that's a good fucking reason to get one now.
Yeah, I know, right?
I might get eaten by a cannibal.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't.
I can't ever really think of a good reason to get a tattoo. That's a fucking good one.
I would think so. I got a lot of them, so.
Your first tattoo seed should just be like a random ass tattoo that don't make no goddamn sense. Like
Yeah,
a
that would
photo of Mother Teresa that says Dr. Phil above it.
that would drive everyone and me crazy. By the way.
Dude, that's why I don't get tattoos. One of the
If you were going to do something like that, you should get.
Good.
You get go.
Okay, I want to get a tattoo.
I was saying like no the
Good. We have a delay. Go ahead. We have a delay.
Oh, my bad. I was saying the only religious tattoo I ever want to get is one of like Mother Teresa that says, "I only get down on my knees for one thing, so quit thinking about it."
Dude, I would have fucked Mother Teresa. You kidding me? That's a woman of God. She
Well,
probably
yeah, you mentioned the gummy thing.
She probably would hawk Tui and spit on that thing. She probably bro.
What's this
But
new bird I keep
Jesus.
hearing about?
For Jesus, she'd hawk to it.
What's the oldest you hook up with? The oldest. Like Betty White? Would you have gotten with Betty?
Do what now?
Would you have gotten with Betty White like when she was like 90 something?
No, dude, that's just a little weird.
That is disrespectful. You
I don't
fucking
know, man. That's just
In the words of Ron White, it could be a 90-year-old biker chick, and she could go, "You want to see me naked?" Yes, I do. Okay, roll them up now, Grandma. Just
I don't know.
if
Like,
you've seen one woman naked, you want to see the rest.
in like a non-gay way, I kind of want to see what Danny DeVito would look like. Like I've kind of seen it on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but like, yeah, he
I don't
probably
want
looks
to see
like,
the penguin naked.
I do. He looks like a fucking bowling ball. Dude. I'm gonna see him in the new Willy Wonka play like all the fucking Oompa Loompas. That'd be great.
Is he doing all of them? Really?
No, he should though. Him or Peter
Yeah,
Dinklage.
like Hollywood.
Hey, the new Wonka movie is actually pretty good.
It is. Did
Yeah,
you
I
hear-
liked it.
Did you hear about the British version of Wonka? It's called Wanka.
Winky?
It's called.
Willy Wonka.
Could you imagine going over? Oh, he's a wanker. He got a chocolate factory. What a wanker!
He gives a whole new meaning to the chocolate factory.
Hey, you Snick.
Oh.
You Snick, remember. You Snick, you'll know what I'm talking about. Bangers and Mash, brother. Bangers and Mash. Greatest tag team you never heard of.
It gives
Dirty-
gives a whole new meaning for that too, don't it?
Dirty wankers in the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
That bit in the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Gene Wilder did that flip, they didn't want him to do that. And he kept saying that
That was improv, yeah.
Yeah, he said, I won't do the movie if you don't keep it in. Because he wants to be introduced as this guy that you can't trust anything he does. And there's actually a conspiracy theory behind the movie that Willy Wonka is actually a serial killer. He
Seems
wanted
crazy to me.
I've seen people edit the trailer to make it look like a horror movie.
Willy Wonka killed them kids in the original movie. And at the very end, when the elevator went up it cut out before he could kill Charlie and Willie himself.
Oh my gosh, why has no one made that movie? Like, if we can get Winnie the Pooh as a serial killer, why can't we get a Willy Wonka serial killer movie?
We gotta wait until the original book goes back.
I'd watch it.
Domain. That's what happened with Willie.
Well, they did it with the Grinch.
Yeah, but the Grinch is back in public domain because that was an old Dr. Seuss book.
Couldn't you just write?
No, it is not.
Of it all?
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
I watched the Grinch horror movie. They never call him the Grinch. They skirt around it.
Yeah, because in the Dr. Seuss book, he's mentioned as the Grinch, but his nickname is the Mean One. So I get why they did that, but I do
in the movie they just call him the Mean One.
But I do believe they're going to be able to call him the Grinch in the new one because they're going to do a sequel. Because I do believe the Grinch is now in public domain. It takes 100 years after the original publication.
Damn.
I'm not exactly sure, but if they do, I'd love to see it because I enjoy Christmas shit, especially like getting twisted like that.
Do you know who played the Grinch in that movie?
That was the same dude who played Art the Clown, wasn't it?
Yes, and also he's going to be playing in the new Mickey Mouse horror movie called Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, isn't Rob Zombie doing that one?
No, that was a rumor. It's the same guy that did Terrifier and The Mean One, all them. However, the guy that did Winnie the Pooh.
I like The Mean One, so I'd watch it.
Well, we need to get the original Brothers Grimm fairy tales into actual movies because those were fucking wild. Like the original Cinderella, she fucking cut her toes
dark,
off.
Bro.
Yeah, she cut her toes off in order to fit the shoe.
Yeah, in real life, those stories are dark as fuck.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see Bambi the Reckoning.
Hey, Seed, are you able to join us next Tuesday? Because I was probably gonna get off here soon.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I gotta go run and finish up some chores for the evening.
You're good,
yeah, I gotta run as well here in a minute. But yeah, I'm man.
Okay.
I think I should be around.
Okay, just swing by, and if you see us live, go ahead and swing in. I'll send you the link.
Cool. Just make sure you send.
Is it time for the plug party?
It's time for the plug party. Everybody promote yourselves with what you're doing. I'm going to start with Seed Squatch, and then I'm going to go to you, okay? Let's do that. Go ahead.
Got it.
What up?
Promote yourself.
Promote myself. Right on. Yeah. We're
what are you doing?
I'm just chilling right now, smoking a blunt. But I've been making music today, and we've got a song coming out on next Friday, July the 5th. We got Fearless Friends coming out, and then after that, I'm putting out a song called, like a week later, I'm going to put out another song called Pushing Buttons. And then a week after that, I'm going to put out another song called Kid's Voice. And then Muck Sticky and I got a track coming out, I think like the week or two after that. So
that's cool.
We're going to be busy from now until Cantana Fest. I'm going to try to drop like a track a week, if you know what I'm saying.
Dude, that motherfucker, Muck Sticky's got like 10 albums coming out. I don't know how he found time.
That's why I got to step up my game because, I mean, dude, he's putting out like 10 albums on one day. I mean, I got to step my game up. You know what I mean?
That's fucking wild. Are you going to be on the album or is your track just a bonus track?
Nah, I think I was just going to be, it's a track that I came up with and he's going to be on it. You know what I mean?
So, like, he not only has 10 albums, but he has like more.
Right.
Fucking show off.
That's nice. What I'm saying. You know what I mean? Well, no, it's a track. I wrote this song like 7 years ago and then recorded it like 4 years ago. And then it just kind of sat around because it wasn't really finished. I knew it was missing something, like a verse from somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I ran across Muck and he asked me, dude, you got any tracks we could do? And I was like, dude, I got the perfect track for us. And I sent it to him. He hit back. He's like, dude, what the fuck, dude? This track is dope. So we got that. It's called You Could Change. That's the name of the song.
So are you on Spotify and shit?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on Spotify. Yeah, I'm on all the platforms except SoundCloud, I guess.
See, I was trying to get you to say where you was at, so you had to make me seem stupid. in order
No.
to.
No, actually, you're smart for reminding me to even say that because I wouldn't have. I'm so fucking high off this blunt. I wouldn't have never thought of it. I'm like, you like promote myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm smoking a blunt. I'm fucking.
I like how I make it seem like I don't know where you're at, so that you talk about it. That's
No, but for real, we've got like 4 tracks out right now with 4 videos out on YouTube. If you want to check the videos out, they're pretty dope. And yeah, I'm just gonna be putting out music as often as much as possible. Dope.
You got a
shit.
website?
Yeah, seedsquatchnft.com.
There we go. I think I covered all bases. Anything else you want to promote?
Cantana Fest, August the 10th and the 11th. Come out to that. You know what I mean? Buck Sticky's playing. I'm playing. Bonsai. Let's see. Nappy Roots is playing. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers playing.
Damn, dude. Where's that at?
Up in near Seattle, Washington.
Oh, dude. That's where all the
If you want to
grunge
come,
are.
I got tickets for you. I will fucking give you tickets to get.
If I can make it to Seattle, I will.
For real, let me know.
I will. Hey, DA.
That's a long walk for me, but
You want to promote yourself, DA? I know you're
always, brother.
He's over here. Look at this McFoley looking motherfucker. Look at him.
All right, hold on. We gotta do this right.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Sasquatches of all ages, I am D.A. Morris. I am the MVP Masters champion, but most importantly, I am the main effing man. And come July 3rd at the Charleroi Market House in Charleroi, Pennsylvania, start time 6 p.m. All tickets are $20. I will be defending my Masters championship against the scum of the earth, the greenhorn, the man who couldn't touch a woman if he paid for it, Tyler Grayson. So come on out, watch me kick some ass, and have a good old time. And it's also a food drive. Come donate, help out for a good cause, watch me defend my championship, and enjoy yourself.
My man said
I
you
already
can't
don't like
touch
the
a
guy.
woman
I
if
don't
you
like
paid
Tyler's,
for it.
man. I hope you kick Tyler's ass.
My man said you can't touch a woman even if you paid for it. That's
Come on, you guys. Quit fighting. Damn, I wish you guys the cat fight.
But guys, if you
Yeah,
want more,
if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing, if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing, Facebook.com, Pro Wrestling Everywhere. I'll be promoting all my stuff on there.
all right, what's the website again?
Facebook.com, Pro Wrestling Everywhere. It's a group that I started to help promote all indie wrestling. So if you know of independents that need promoting, if you want to just talk about nostalgic wrestling moments, it is the place to be. All are welcome. No drama, no bullshit, just wrestling and good times.
Sweet. And if you guys want more of that, more of the comedy, more of Pink Sock, more of all that shit, just go to useNick.com. If you don't use Nick, you'll lose Nick. I got some comedy shows coming up. I'm going to be performing at OVDJ Summer Fest. And then I'm going to be playing at RL Strength and Conditioning Summer Bash. And then I have another festival I'm going to be announcing, but that's not until closer to August, September area. But come see comedy, come see fun. RL Strength and Conditioning in Blair is a free show.
There will be MVP Wrestling there as well.
Nice. I'm going to fight you. Pepperoni pizza? Dude.
Oh, fucking, hey, let's do this.
I'm on my way. All right, guys.
Fellas.
It ain't delivery, and it ain't DiGiorno.
As always, guys, live long, rock hard. Love y'all.
Yep.